Hello and welcome to Home Run Hiring. I'm your host, Andrea Hoffer. Now, we all know that video has become very popular. If you want to grab someone's attention to market your product or even just to get your message heard, we know you need to use video. Engagement will be so much higher. Video is also popular within recruitment marketing. If you truly want to attract a good flow of quality candidates, then you really should be using video. A text job posting is just not going to cut it anymore. We have been working with our clients to incorporate video into several stages of the recruitment process for a few years now. We've seen video not only increase engagement from potential candidates, but also improve the quality of the candidates that we receive. However, we still get a lot of pushback from many of our clients because they are not comfortable on video. About a year ago, we reached out to our friends at Geffner Productions and asked them if they could help us to improve our clients' comfort level with video. Jaime and Steve Geffner were happy to help, and we've been working with them ever since. Their involvement in this process has not only helped our clients feel more comfortable with being on camera, but it also has brought the level of the recruitment videos to a much higher level. So I'm so thrilled to have Jaime and Steve with us today. But before I actually bring them on and introduce them, let me tell you a little bit about this incredible team. Steve and Jaime Geffner are video coaches, video marketing strategists, and an award-winning husband and wife video producing team. They are the creators of Gechner Productions and Video Attraction Lab, where they inspire business owners to step into their greatness with video to increase their impact and grow their revenue. Geffner Productions offers totally done-for-you professional video production services, do-it-yourself online courses, done-with-you video services where they coach business owners how to film their own videos, and then professionally edit the videos for them, and a monthly membership club called Video Attraction Lab, where they support business owners to get into action with video and hold them accountable to doing videos regularly for their business. And I've heard that service has become very popular. Before creating Geffner Productions together, Steve and Jaime each got their start in Hollywood, working for shows like Dr. Phil and Frasier. Over the last 13 plus years, they have produced, filmed, and edited over 3,000 online videos for hundreds of business owners for their websites, blogs, social media pages, online courses, live events, and more. Steve and Jaime have been married since 2003, and they live in Orange County, California, with their 2-year-old son, Oliver Milo Geffner, who's affectionately called Baby OMG. So I want to welcome Jaime and Steve to the show and see what they have to say today. So welcome, Jaime and Steve.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us.
Very excited to be here.
Well, we're very excited to have you. And, I was wondering if you could just start off, your history, your experience is so amazing. Could you start off by sharing with us a little bit about Geffner Productions and what led you to establishing this company after all of your Hollywood and TV experience?
Yeah, as you mentioned in the intro there, we both used to work in TV production, which is really where we learned to hone our skills. Jaime really getting great at helping people craft their content and be their best on camera and really, be their authentic selves, let themselves shine through in a really powerful way. My expertise is a lot more on the technical side with the filming and the editing and the camera and the lights and all of that. And so together, we had always wanted to find a way to work together, and our skill set just matched up perfectly. Aside from being a happily married couple, we work really, really well together. And several years ago, when we decided this is what we're going to do, we really were seeing a need for online video. It was really starting to take off. We saw that business owners needed to put themselves out there, be visible, get in front of their ideal clients, and we had the ability to do so. And as you mentioned, we've been filming and editing projects for clients for many, many years, 13 plus years now. And then when the pandemic started shutting things down last year, we had to really shift things in our business because we weren't able to film in quite the same way. And That's when we created Video Attraction Lab, where we do a lot more coaching and educating business owners to do their own videos and get the support they need. So it's definitely been a journey, but we love working with business owners and entrepreneurs to help them step through the fears that are preventing them from getting on video, being comfortable with it, and helping with everything from the strategy and the tech part. But really, there's a lot of mindset that goes into stepping through the fears of getting over that hump and really being comfortable doing videos. That's what we love doing and what we really help with.
Great. And it is so needed. I know video is important in everything having to do with business. And I mentioned earlier that video is important in recruitment. How do you see video being key and getting some better outcomes in the recruitment process?
Yeah, that's a great question. Well, there's a lot going on there with recruitment in the video process, because there's two parts to it. There's the part of the candidate who's looking for a job, and then there's the part of the employer, and they're two separate pieces, right? So as a candidate, if you're looking for a job, you're not just looking for a job, you're looking for the right job, the right job where you can be happy, you can thrive, you can contribute, because if as someone looking for a job, that is what's going to lead you to long-term success, right? So that's one part of it. And then as an employer, you're not just looking for any employee, right? You're looking for the right candidate for a particular position in your company. And it takes some time to find that person sometimes, and also to train them, and also to integrate them into your company culture, and to get them fully up to speed with your company. And that process can cost a lot of time and a lot of money. And especially if you don't get it right the first time, it costs even more, right? So video can work in both of those ways, for the candidate and for the employer, to really help the candidate know if the company that they're looking at is a good fit for them, is the right fit for them, is going to meet all of their needs. And then it also helps the employer get to know the candidates through video, and be able to tell if that person is indeed the right person for the job. Because like I was saying, if it's not the right person, then it's going to be a lot of time and money spent on bringing somebody on that's not the right fit, that then they have to repeat that process with somebody new. So the other good thing about video and how this fits in is that, and this is maybe something that people don't exactly realize, is that video is an instant attractor, for the right fit people. It just instantly attracts you to that job, or helps the employer recognize that right person right away and says, oh, that's the right team member for me. It's also an instant repeller, right? Which is also just as valuable, that you can look at a video that somebody sent in and say, maybe that's not the right fit, or you can look at a video about a company and say, maybe that's not the right fit. And both of those things save you a lot of time and money. That's really the beauty of it. So in the recruitment process, there's so much that can be done to really help to save time, to save money, and most importantly, to make people feel better about, they're looking for a job, they're concerned. Does this, there's so many factors. Is this the right position for me? Does it utilize my skills? Does it pay me the right money? Am I going to be happy there? Am I going to be able to contribute meaningfully? All these things that are on the person's mind. And then for the employer, the other side of it, which is, am I hiring the right person? Are they the right fit? Are they going to fit in well with the team? Are they going to drive the business forward? All of these things. So video can really, really help and make that process so much faster.
Wow, there's a lot there. That was really interesting. And so now we come to the part where we find both clients, the employers, are uncomfortable in video. And then, as you mentioned, we're also asking, in many cases, the candidates to do their own video at some point in the recruitment process. Could you share with us some tips to help people feel a little more comfortable on camera?
Yes.
The first thing is to know it's not uncommon. You're not alone. This is something we hear all the time. We work, primarily with business owners who are not comfortable or used to being on camera. So you're not alone if you're feeling that way. One really great tip that we share in terms of doing video is to help you get over your fears. Just realize it's not about you, right? It's about the viewer that is watching. What do they need from you? Take the focus off of yourself and put it on what you're trying to accomplish, who you're trying to help and serve. The person who's watching a video, whether it's a recruitment video or any other video for your business, they need something from you, and you're just sharing information with them in a way that's going to help them and it's going to help save you time, save you all that. So by taking the focus off yourself, that's a great first step to, you always think, how do I look? How do I sound? Am I saying the right thing? All of that. Think about who's watching that video. What do they need to hear from you? And when you take the focus off yourself, it makes it so much easier every time you step in front of the camera.
It's a very simple shift, but it's very, very powerful. And people think, well, what do you mean? Of course it's about me because I'm the one that's on video. And it's like, you're not recording a video to watch yourself. You're recording a video so somebody else can watch you and get something out of it, because they're always thinking, what's in it for me? And they're not thinking about you and all those things that annoy you about yourself, and how your voice sounds funny and how you look and how you need to lose 5 pounds. Nobody's thinking that except for you. So if you can just simply remove yourself from that equation and say, I'm not doing this for myself, I'm not doing it to watch it myself, I'm doing this to help and serve another human being, somebody who needs something from me, and they're watching this video and taking their time to watch me for a very specific and particular reason. If you can, suspend your own doubt long enough to just put that in your head, it will really help you get over some of those fears really quickly. There's a few other really good tips. One thing is that some of what we are afraid of is the unknown, especially when it comes to doing video. So one other thing that really helps is just preparation. I know it's so simple, but the more that you understand, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? How do you do it? What should you expect out of recording a video or the video process in general? The more that you understand about all that, the more you're going to sort of eliminate one of those basic levels of fear about the unknown, because we get afraid of things that we don't understand and that we don't know what to expect. And once you do understand, oh, this is what it takes, then it just removes that, right away. And another big tip is also practice. Practice is a big thing. I don't know why sometimes people think that they should just be able to turn on the camera and they're going to be perfect at this. It's a learned skill, and it's very different of a skill than just speaking in public or speaking to a group of people, because when you're doing video, you don't have the instant feedback normally. You don't have a group of people that are in your presence that you can look at them in the eyes and they're clapping for you and they're engaging with you. Like, you have to sort of create that excitement and the buzz. You have to create that yourself. And so it's a different skill. So even people who are very skilled as a speaker, that are very good at delivering content to a room full of people that have been doing this for years, sometimes get afraid to be on video because there isn't that ability to kind of pull the energy from the audience and really play off of them. So you have to be able to give yourself a break and be willing to practice and be willing to try things long enough to be maybe a little bit bad at the beginning, and then get good at it.
It definitely gets easier over time.
Yeah.
The more you do it, the more comfortable you get, and the easier it gets over time, for sure.
I think I can attest to that. Not that I'm perfectly comfortable with video at this moment, but I'm definitely a lot more comfortable than I was even a year ago. So I do practice. So that makes a lot of sense to me. So what are some ways that you might suggest that employers could incorporate video into the recruitment campaign? Maybe even some places they could put the video to enhance their recruitment.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot
that you can do. Video can be such a powerful tool, but it always starts with strategy first, and really being clear on whatever type of video you're doing. What is the goal behind that video? You can do general videos about the company as a whole. Why would someone want to work there? We do something called the employment brand story video, which is not a client-facing video, but for the purpose of recruiting and hiring and finding the right team members, where you're maybe as the leader of the company being interviewed, but also interviewing some of the team members or some of the key people that can share about the company culture. Why should someone want to work there? That's a really great, more involved, professionally done type of video where you can really share about the company as a whole. That would get a potential candidate excited.
Yeah, so that's the professional route to go. Like, if you were like, I need one great video that is going to really show off my company in a highly professional way, where somebody's going to watch it and completely understand what is this company culture like, sort of like that big wow video about your company, then that would be something that you might want to do professionally. And we call that an employment brand story video. But the alternative to that, if you're not at that level yet and you're just like, I just want to get started by myself, what can I do on my own? Right. Is to do a general video message, let's say from the CEO or from the founder. If you don't have that employment brand story video yet, or just even if you do, as an extra special touch where, let's say, the CEO or founder can welcome candidates in their own words, in a more conversational way, and where we can see them putting themselves on video, sharing their passion for their company, just as they're asking the candidates to do in the recruitment process to record a video where they talk about why they want to work for the company. The CEO or founder would record something where they are sort of setting the bar and setting the standard and saying, like, I'm doing this, maybe I'm not comfortable on camera, but I'm asking you to do it and I'm doing it first to show you that you can do it, right? So that's one way to use video. Another way is to do specific videos for a particular position. So let's say you're hiring for, position A, position B, position C. You can do specific videos for each of those positions to attract that right candidate to each of those individual positions, where you talk about what is the position, what are the responsibilities, who is a good candidate, and then you ask for the candidate to submit a video, hopefully after. So that's another way to use it, is to have the candidate then submit a video to apply for the position.
I think another really cool one too that you might not be thinking about is testimonial videos. Oftentimes we hear about testimonials and we think from a client who's had success working with your business or buying, for your product or service, but you can do the exact same thing with team members who are your happiest, most loyal people who have been there a while, that really understand what it's like to work there and can communicate that maybe in a way that's a little different than what the CEO or founder can. Having employee testimonials, and you can certainly weave in client and customer testimonials as well to get people excited to want to work there. But employee testimonials can really go a long way to helping potential team members get excited about wanting to join your company.
Plus, the employees, if they are not completely averse to being on video, they might be excited because it's like they're attracting their new work family, right? So they might be excited to share their passion for the company and find the right people that are going to come play with them every day at the office, because it's you spend so much time at work and you want to like the people that you are working with. And so it could be a really good way for a candidate to look at that video and say, oh, what are the types of people that work there? Who would I be working with? And then for the employee to be able to have the opportunity to share in their own words, and to make it less scary for the candidate as well, and to share what they're looking for and who they think would be a good fit, because that's a person that's going to come into their space and come into the company, and everybody wants to just be happy and play well with each other. So it's really powerful.
There's other things that you can do to show off the personality of your company and the culture. There's things you can do with the employee onboarding process. You can use video in that process to get people up to speed and appreciating your team members, all that. But those are some of the kind of biggest ones that can really make an immediate, noticeable impact in the hiring process.
I love so many points that you two just brought up. And I just want to touch on a couple of them. First of all, employee testimonials, we are always pushing for those, whether they're by video or written. Of course, video is much more impactful. But people, just like you said, Jamie, they want to meet their future coworkers, and they trust what they say more than maybe coming from the CEO. And then on the other side, just like you said, we get a lot of pushback from candidates about doing video, because we often ask them to do one-way video early on in the process. And whenever we have a CEO or a hiring manager or a department manager do that video first, the one you were describing where, hey, I'm doing it too, I'm not comfortable either, but I'm really excited that you're interested in my position, we get a much better response from candidates than if we don't have that video. So I'm thank you so much for making those points.
Yeah, well, you have to, as the employer, you have to inspire people. If you're the employer, you're the leader. You have probably created a company, or maybe you're just in a very high position at a company, depending on what type of company it is. But you're the leader, and you're the one who has to take that first step and inspire people to want to come and work with you, to want to come and work with your company. So being willing to take a step that you're asking somebody else to take is a really wonderful way to inspire people into action, to say, I'm willing to do what I'm, put my money where my mouth is. I'm willing to do what I'm asking you to do. And that act in and of itself is going to inspire people who are the right fit. And when they see that, if they are like, oh, wow, that's really great, they're going to want that job so bad. And they're going to step up and they're going to say, okay, I want to do this. And I need to now show this person, this woman or this man who's so awesome that I'm the right person to come in and work for their company. Now they're in the position of proving themselves to you because you've just done something that has really lit a spark or has really, you know, taken things to the next level. Now it's not a matter of should I apply for this job with this position or this one or this one or this one. It's a matter of, oh my God, that is my job. That is a job for me. And now I need to show up and do what they asked me to do so that I can get this job because I know in my gut that that's the job for me. And that is what you do as an employer when you put together a video like that. You really take it to the next level. You really get them into action. You get them truly inspired. And those right fit people, they're going to see that and they're going to be like, done. This is my job. This is my job. This is my job. And they're going to do that video and it's going to be great. And when you see that video, you're going to be like, that's my person.
Wow. That's a great point. So, now you've touched on this already in some of your responses, but I'm just in case you have more to add, is there a specific way or that employers could really highlight their uniqueness in these videos, in these recruitment videos? What would that be?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. There's several ways. So one thing to do is to talk about why you started the company. You know, why are you, or if you are the owner, if you're not the owner, but you're sort of the face and voice of the brand, then talk about why the company was started. You know, where did the passion for the company come from? That's a great way to sort of differentiate your company, because that's one of the things you want to do. Is like you want to differentiate your company for somebody who's looking to work for your company. So another thing is making sure that the person who's watching truly understands why this company is different. Why does this company stand out as a provider of products or services, and as an employer as well? So you can, another way you can do that is by sharing some company culture, sharing values, sharing what it's like to work for the company. So those are great ways. And then the other thing to remember is that, you know, when somebody's looking for a job or a career, there's actually two separate issues that are going on at the same time. The candidate itself or themselves might have multiple needs. So let's say need number one is the candidate needs a job, right? They might need money. They may even be in some cases in a desperate situation where they need money badly. They need to make themselves attractive to you as the employer so that they can get their first issue taken care of. And that's just to get a job, right? To secure a position that's going to allow them to live and support themselves and support their family. So that could be bottom line need number one. But then need number two, the deeper need, is that the candidate wants a workplace where they can really be happy, where they can thrive. They want to be in an environment that's supportive. They want to find a place where they're accepted as an employee. They want to find a place where they feel really good going to work every day, where they feel valued and supported. You know, so they might both need income, and then they ultimately need to contribute meaningfully to be happy long-term with your company. And they want to feel like this is not just a workplace or a job, but this is their life, right? So you as an employer have an opportunity to really use video to help them with that deeper issue or need that's going on. So sure, they might just, you know, accept a job, and any job, for money. But if they do, if you find somebody who accepts a job just for money, what do you think is the level of commitment of somebody who takes on a job for reason number one, just for the money part, versus the level of commitment of someone who accepts a job or position for reason number two that I was explaining, where they're looking for deeper meaning in their life. They're looking to be supportive and supported and to thrive in their life and in their career. So the question that you have to ask yourself as an employer is, how much time and money can you save if you incorporate both of these needs into your recruitment process? And video can really, really help you to do that.
Very true. And we're hearing a lot of that, where potential candidates, you know, they're even at right now, we're seeing candidates even willing to work at maybe a lower pay if they feel like the culture is going to be someplace they'll thrive. Or if it also adds in some things like flexibility, working from home, either all the time or sometimes. These are all things that is almost really becoming, you know, more of a priority than the money issue. I'm glad you brought that up. Where should the employers start? I mean, you gave us so many different video ideas that all sound like we all should be doing, right? So how should they start when they're thinking about adding video to recruitment?
Yeah, the first thing to think about is don't get overwhelmed and feel like you need to do all of it right now. That's not, you know, what we're trying to communicate for sure. It's really about starting at whatever level you can. You know, if you're a bigger company and you have the ability to invest in getting maybe some higher quality professional videos like the employment brand story video done, then that might really serve you and your company well. If you're a smaller company and you want to really learn to do these types of videos on your own, it's not about being perfect on these videos. It's about connecting with people and presenting yourself in a way where you're communicating effectively and impressing these potential job candidates. So you can always work on improving the quality of videos as you grow, as you continue to do it. You can work on improving your level of confidence on camera and your delivery and all of that as you go on. But don't let the fear of I'm not comfortable doing this, or I don't know exactly what to say, stop you from getting started. Because just by getting going and being authentic and being vulnerable, and yes, you want to do it in a way that accurately represents you and your company and your brand and all of that. But getting started with it is going to really help you attract the right people to you. So don't get overwhelmed by the process. Start where you can. If you have the ability to invest in some professional videos, great. If not, then you can certainly learn to do it on your own.
Great. And if they're not going to invest right away, or maybe they're going to do some professional videos and some on their own, what type of equipment would you recommend that they get?
That's a bit of a loaded question.
It's a loaded, you know, it really depends on the size of your company, how professional you need it to be. Is the person who's going to be doing the filming really savvy and understands the tech or not? You know, if you can go from one end of the spectrum, or you can use your smartphone. The iPhones and the new Samsung phones, they have great cameras in them. If you have the ability to get started with something using your phone and you're comfortable and it's going to get you into action, then start there. If you want to start upping the game and getting more professional with your videos, and I would say especially if you're going to be doing videos on a consistent basis, that probably makes more sense, which as business owners you should be. But you know, certainly there's people that want to invest and actually get some equipment with cameras and a microphone, so you sound you know, clearer and crisper to everybody. Some lights that would help you show up in your best light, no pun intended. Choosing the right filming space, you know, with the right background in your office that's going to be inspiring to people. So there's a lot of things you can do. You don't have to go off and spend a ton of money on fancy equipment. There's a lot of things you can do to get started. So it kind of depends on what your goals are and what you think you're actually going to be doing on an ongoing basis.
Yeah, I mean, you can hire professionals to help you with this process, or you can learn to do it on your own. But if you're going to learn to do it on your own, you have to do it well, because the whole point of using video is to attract those right fit candidates. So you have to look at it as an investment of your time and potentially your money, you know, in making sure that your company is going to be securing the right hires. Because again, what we were saying before, you know, how much time are you wasting and how much money are you wasting? And what's the opportunity cost of the situation if you waste time and you hire the wrong people? That's a lot of time and money and energy. And if you're looking at it that way, then it is worth investing in a hiring company like yours and a video company like ours to either do things for you completely, or do things with you, or just coach you and guide you on what you can do on your own. And we can train you to do it, or we can train your team members to do it. So, you know, it's an investment either way of your time or your money or both, right? But it's worth it because you're really going to be maximizing your ability to recruit and train and hold on to those great candidates that are going to help your business get to the next level. So the money that you spend on professionals, if you're going to go that route, is going to save you so much time and so much money. And a lot of these things, you know, are a one-time investment, and then you use the skills that you learn for the rest of your life for every single person that you hire moving forward, every single time that you record a video moving forward, whether it be for the recruiting process or for the onboarding process or for marketing videos for your business. So it's worth it to think about it in that way, where you know, taking the time and maybe even spending some money to get these things right, and how that's going to save you, how much time and energy that's going to save you when you find the right people. It's not even just that. It's like if you hire the wrong people, then, you know, it drags your company down. You waste time, you waste money. But then think about it on the opposite side. What happens when you hire the right person? and how much that person can help you grow your company when they're the right fit because you've attracted them through good video as one of the steps. Like how much then is that going to help you get to the next level so much faster? So it's not just like the hole you're in if you hire the wrong person, but it's like how much further along could you be when you have the right person on your team that's really pushing the vision of your company forward, and starting with doing great videos that attract the right person. When they see that video and they know this is the right company for them, that person's going to be so excited to work for you, so excited about your vision, so excited to take your vision to the next level. And what are you missing out on if you didn't get that person because you didn't take any of the steps necessary in the very beginning of the process to attract the right person to you? There's just so much that's possible that people don't really think about because they get afraid, or they think, oh, how much time is this going to take, or how much money is this going to take? I don't have time for that. I don't have money for that. All these excuses that come up, that we are here to help you, and your company is here to help people. And if they were to just, kind of take that seriously from the get-go, how much further could they be, and how much faster, and how much less frustration could they have? So, it's an opportunity, right? It really is an opportunity to take things to the next level, take it seriously, and really improve things really quickly for your company.
It makes sense. Now, Zoom interviews have, in this past year, become the most popular way to do at least the first or second interview, even if the candidate is local, due to the pandemic. And a lot of people were not used to being on Zoom to begin with, but especially how do I put my best foot forward? And I'm not talking about the candidate here. I'm actually talking about the employer. We always observe the Zoom interviews that our employers do with the candidates that we send them. We had them record it and send it to us. And it's very interesting for us to watch because we see often these CEOs who we know are very strong, capable people. On the Zoom interview, they're coming up almost a little timid. And not all of them, but some of them. So could you share with us just a few tips that you would have for employers when they're doing an interview over Zoom or any other kind of video?
Yeah, well, I'm going to give you the first one because this is my favorite one. One of the things that people miss completely when it comes to Zoom is that one of the best ways to use video is the point of using video really is to make a connection. You need to make a connection with your viewer. And one of the easiest, fastest, quickest, hands down ways to do this is you have to look at the camera lens when you're talking. And when people are on Zoom, you see them looking down, like looking at themselves on the screen or looking at the other people on the screen. And that is so much less powerful than looking directly at that camera lens. So if you're doing this on your computer, because most people use Zoom, I think, on their computer these days, there's a little green light on the top of my computer right there. And right next to that little green light is a camera. And that is exactly where you want to be looking. That's going to increase your connection. It's going to make people feel more connected to you. You want to think of that camera lens as your viewer's eyes. And if you were in person with somebody and you went to a restaurant and you were eating with them, or you were sitting across the table from somebody at a conference, in a conference room, at a meeting, if you were sitting there and you're looking down or you're looking around, you're looking at your notes and you're not looking at them, what is the level of connection that you have with somebody in that in-person scenario versus when you look them directly in the eye and you talk to them and they know that you're paying attention, they know that you're listening to them? That's what it feels like when you look into the camera lens. So no matter if you're doing it on your computer or you're filming with a real camera, then there's like a huge camera lens right in front of you. When you're recording on your phone, you want to look where the camera is. So like if you're doing it this way, there's a camera right there. That's where you're looking. So that's a really, really big tip that will instantly improve somebody's level of connection and make people who are watching take you more seriously.
And it's hard to do that, especially when if you're using your computer or your phone and you're tempted to want to look at yourself or look at the other people. Maintaining eye contact with the viewer, it'll get easier the more you do it. You'll notice it gets more comfortable, but it's such an important point, as Jamie was saying, to make an emotional connection and really connect with the person who's watching, for sure. That's a big one. I think another thing to consider is where you're filming and the space that you're in also. What's visible in the frame, everything from what you're wearing, and is your hair and makeup done, and what does your background look like, and all of that, the lighting, it all is telling a story. It's all adding up to something. And even if it's subconscious, the viewer is noticing certain things. It speaks to your attention to detail. It speaks to maybe the quality of potentially your products and services. So you want to always think about showing up in the highest quality way that you can. And I think choosing the right spot in your office, even if it's a home office, can really be a big part of that process as well, because everything you're doing is representing your brand, and you want it to be inviting and inspiring, and use it as an opportunity, not just let me show up on camera and have this interview. So those are a couple big things that really can take the quality and the look and the feel and the interaction that you'll notice in your Zoom calls up a big notch.
As you were saying that, I've been trying to keep eye contact with the lens next to the green light. It's so interesting that you say that, because I know that it just comes naturally to look at the people on the screen who I'm speaking with, because that's how I think I'm keeping eye contact. And it makes absolute sense. To them, it looks like I'm looking down and I'm not looking at them in the eyes. So thank you for that.
When you go back and watch the videos that you've recorded after the fact, you'll notice that.
I was gonna say you're gonna be like, oh my God, I looked down. Oh
yeah, I was looking down. No, I'm not saying to you, Andrea. I'm just saying for anybody who's watching or listening, is when you go back, you'll notice, why do I look like I'm looking off to the side or down? And try it next time where you actually just focus on that camera lens and when you're recording, and then watch that video back and see if there's any difference for how you perceive it, the connection you feel by watching that video.
And if you need to, you can put something at the top of the computer to remind you, like you can put a little stuffed animal up there. You can put a picture, just make sure you don't cover the camera lens, but you can put a little picture up there to remind you to talk to that person. You have to pretend like there's a person right there. Because again, pretend like it's your viewer's eyes. That camera lens is your viewer's eyes. So if you got to kind of trick yourself into this. And it's not easy at first, because you're like, I'm staring at a light or I'm staring at a lens, and that's not natural. And that's why people find it a little bit challenging, because there's no feedback from that, right? But whatever you need to do.
Awkward. It'll feel a little awkward at first, but you get used to it, I promise.
Okay, I'm gonna really work on this. I feel like it's really important. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you would like to bring up before we wrap things up?
Good question. We cover a lot of good ground.
Cover a lot of ground. I think just in general, when we talk about video, it is, other than being face to face with someone in person, which these days is a little trickier than it had been in the past. There's no more powerful way to interact with someone online than to do it through video, whether it's a live Zoom call or something like that, or a pre-recorded video. There's just no more powerful way to be able to feel someone's energy, to hear the intonation in their voice, to connect with them. And whether you're doing videos that are client facing to help you sell your products and services, or for the hiring and recruiting purposes to be able to find and attract the right team members, when you do video right and well, and have a clear intention behind every video that you do, and take the focus off yourself and just think, what does the person watching this video need from me? What do they want? Why are they clicking on this video? When you can do that, you'll notice the level of connection totally change, and people will feel like they know you. When you talk to them, they'll just have a different level of connection because of the videos they've seen. So it's such a powerful way to connect in this day and age where so much of what we do is online.
Yeah, and I think that's another good point about that, is that you want to try to duplicate the type of connection that you can have in person. So there's no better way to connect than in person, next to somebody. You can touch their arm, you can look at them in the eyes, you can really get on the same page with somebody. Obviously, that's always going to be the best way.
Or at least 6 feet apart.
At least 6 feet apart. That's always going to be the best way, but without a mask on. Right. So it's always going to be the best way to connect with someone is to be with them in person, so you could feel their energy. When you're using video, what you're trying to do is get as close as possible to replicating that level of connection, so that the same things that you feel when you're in person, that deep level of intimacy and connection, that you can have that virtually with people, which means if you can create that level of connection, you can talk to one person, 10 people, 1,000 people, 1,000,000 people. You can record a video one time that reaches 1,000,000 people, right? And you can, if you can get good at this and you can create that level of connection, every person who watches it is going to feel like you're talking directly to them. And that is what you're going for. So when we talk about the in-person thing, that's the best way to connect. But the second best way to connect in a virtual world is to try to find a way to make it feel like an in-person connection, but you're just doing it virtually. So all these tips that we're giving you about looking at the camera lens and, putting your best foot forward and, all the things that you do to present yourself and make sure your delivery is on par and make sure you're comfortable, all the things that you do, all the little details that go into making great videos is all about making the connection as strong as it can possibly be. Because if you can make the strong connection, then you can have every part of your customer journey and your recruitment process represented via video, which is going to save you time, save you money, and allow you to reach people that you couldn't reach any other way. Because again, you can't be in person with people who are across the world from you, right? And in this day and age, you might not be able to be in person with people who are down the street from you. So we're in a virtual world. For good or for bad, from this point forward, things have changed, and it's time to get used to and comfortable with using video. So we're here to make that process as easy and doable for you as possible in every part of your business. And we love doing that.
Can you tell us about your video attraction lab and tell us a little bit about what it's all about, and if anybody's interested, how they'd sign up?
Yeah, we created this, as we said, as a way to really be able to help business owners anywhere. And there are still business owners that want us to do video for them, but we created the Video Attraction Lab as a way to get people into action, to teach everything from video strategy, to the technical side of doing videos, to being comfortable on camera, to what do I say in my videos and how do I script them, and all of the reasons and excuses we've heard over the years about why business owners don't do video. We've packaged it in a way where we can coach business owners month after month to really get into action and start implementing video strategically to grow their business, to attract the right clients or team members to them. And we love this. Like we've loved doing the video for many years, and now that we've taken on more of this coaching and support role, where we educate about video, and we're there to do a lot of Q&As to get questions answered. We really love it, and it's just taken on a life of its own. The community of business owners that we've built that are taking part in this month after month, it's filled with the most incredible people in all different industries, all over the country, all over the world, actually. And
they're inspiring each other. And that's another key part. It's not just us coaching. We could coach people one-on-one privately, but we've created a community so that people have community around doing video, because video can be so isolating. It can feel so terrible if you are doing it by yourself and you don't feel like it and you have dread around it, or you're doing it and you're not getting the results, but you're not sure why. And then you don't know what to do. Should I give up? Or you get stuck on something like a technology question, or what equipment do I use? Or what types of videos should I do? And is this working for me? Like all the things that stop you, that come up, that prevent you from using this incredibly powerful tool in your business. People get stuck, they get stopped. And so we created a community so that you wouldn't be alone anymore. So it's not just us and our coaching and our expertise and our guidance and all the things we think you should know. It's being part of a community where you're supporting other business owners. They're supporting you. You're getting feedback on the videos that you're doing. You're trying things out in a safe place, and you are no longer alone on your video journey. We found that having community around doing video is so incredibly powerful, because not only do you get into action, but you get inspired by other people. They share ideas, and then you're like, oh, I could do that for my business, things I never would have thought of before. And it's fun. It's fun.
It can actually be fun.
So it's huge for people. And people, we didn't have this before. We've never seen any type of community like this. And we created it, and it's, like he said, it's taken on a life of its own, and it's amazing.
But we created a special link for your audience, Andrea, to go to learn more about it. You can go to videoattractionlab.com/Andrea Hoffer. And you can learn all about Video Attraction Lab and the community we've built, and see everything it includes. But it's become a great resource that it's providing great value for the people that are in the club, but it's also providing great value for us in terms of feeling like we're able to make a bigger impact and contribute in a way that we just weren't able to before. So we're loving it.
Well, thank you. I know I'm planning on doing it soon, because I know I need to do it. And who better to hang out with than the two of you? You know, you're so much fun and you're so informative. And for those listeners out there, we will put the link on the landing page of the podcast so that you have it. But just so you know, in case you don't go, my last name, since they put my name on it, is Hoffer. So it's Andrea Hoffer is the end of that link. Is there any other way, if somebody's, you know, maybe they're not sure if the Video Attraction Lab is right for them, but they do want to learn about your other services, how should they reach out to you?
I mean, a great way, I guess, email is a great way to connect with us. I'm Steve at GeffnerProductions.com, and Geffner is Geffner, and Jamie is Jamie at GeffnerProductions.com, and Jamie is Jaime. And
so you can send an email to one of us personally, or you can also write to support@videoattractionlab.com if you just want to send a general email about the club, and we respond to that. And sometimes, you know, someone writes to us and they want to learn more, we need to set up a call to get to know them better. So you know, if you just send us an email to any of those email addresses, we'll get a call set up to discuss with you if you need that.
Great, thank you. You two have been wonderful guests. You've been so much fun, and we've just learned so much from you today. So thank you so much for joining us on Home Run Hiring.
Thanks for having us, Andrea. So great to be here, and we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, and it was just so much fun to talk about recruitment marketing, recruitment video. Like, it's not a subject we talk a lot about, but I want to talk more about it because it's fun, and it's there's so much that can be done to help your clients and help people with this process, and we love to be part of it. So let's do it again soon.
Definitely. And thank you to everybody joining us for this episode of Home Run Hiring. My name's Andrea Hoffer. I'm the host. Please stay safe and have a happy and great day.